Ladies and gentlemen, there are two types of people in this world. Those who start strong and fade halfway, and those who stay focused till the end. The second kind, they are the ones who turn ordinary into extraordinary, not because they had more time, not because they had more money, but because they had more focus. In this world full of distractions, where the noise is louder than your thoughts, staying focused is not just a choice anymore. It is a survival skill. Focus is the foundation of all success. No matter what your goal is, whether you want to become an artist, build a business, get healthier, or find peace, it all begins with one simple but powerful decision: to focus. Without focus, everything falls apart. You might have the biggest dreams in the world, but without focus, they are nothing more than beautiful ideas that will fade into regret. Focus is what separates dreamers from doers. It is the line between potential and progress. Most people do not fail because they are not talented. They fail because they are too scattered. They say yes to too many things. They chase every shiny opportunity, hoping something will work. But success does not come from doing everything. It comes from doing one thing with everything you have. Focus means picking one direction and walking in it every single day, no matter how slow it feels, because slow progress in the right direction is still progress. When you are focused, you become unstoppable. Not because life becomes easier, but because your energy is no longer divided. Your mind is no longer jumping from one thing to the next. You start to build momentum. You begin to trust yourself. And that trust is what turns actions into habits, and habits into results. But here is the truth. Focus is not natural. We live in a world that trains us to be distracted. Notifications, social media, opinions. Everything around you is designed to steal your attention. If you do not guard your focus like your future depends on it, you will waste years chasing things that do not matter. You must create boundaries, not just for others, but for yourself. Turn off what needs to be turned off. Walk away from what no longer serves you. Protect your time like it is your most valuable asset, because it is focus. Also means making hard choices. It means saying no when you want to say yes. It means working when others are resting. It means staying in when the world is out partying. Not because you are boring, but because you know what you are building. You are not avoiding fun. You are choosing greatness. You are choosing depth over noise. When you focus, you start to see things others cannot. You notice patterns. You find clarity. You become aware of your strengths, your weaknesses, and your next steps. It is like cleaning a foggy window. You suddenly see what has been there all along, just waiting for you to pay attention. And maybe the most powerful thing about focus is this: it teaches you patience. In a world that wants everything fast, focus reminds you that real success is slow. It takes time to build something meaningful. It takes effort to master a craft. And it takes courage to keep going when results are not visible yet. But if you stay focused, those results will come. Not all at once, but little by little, in ways that change everything. So start small. Pick one goal, one habit, one priority, and give it your full attention. Let go of perfection. Let go of pressure. Just commit to showing up every day, fully focused. Because the moment you decide to focus, is the moment your life begins to change. Distractions are silent killers of dreams. They do not come crashing through the door. They sneak in quietly, pretending to be urgent, pretending to be important. One moment you are working on your goals, and the next you are deep in a rabbit hole of someone else's life, opinions, or chaos. And by the time you realize it, your energy is drained, your mind is scattered, and your focus is gone. The scary part is, it does not feel like destruction while it is happening. It feels like normal life. It feels like scrolling for just 5 minutes, replying to one more message, watching one more video. But these tiny moments add up, and eventually they become habits. Habits that sabotage your purpose without you even noticing. The world we live in today thrives on distraction. Every app, every platform, every notification is designed to pull your attention away from what truly matters. Your phone does not care about your future. Your social feed does not care about your potential. These things are designed to keep you engaged, not to help you grow. And unless you start recognizing the difference between being busy and being distracted, you will keep moving, but never arrive. You will keep working, but never building. You will keep trying, but never progressing. You do not need more time. You need less noise. The enemy is not always outside. Sometimes it is the voice inside that tells you, you can catch up tomorrow, or you deserve a break, even when you have not earned one. That voice convinces you to delay your goals, postpone your plans, and settle for comfort. But dreams are allergic to comfort. They grow in the soil of discipline, commitment, and clarity, and distractions are the weeds in that soil. If you do not pull them out, they will choke the life out of your vision. It is not about being perfect. It is about being aware. You must start noticing what pulls you away from your goal. Who are you talking to that leaves you mentally drained? What content are you consuming that gives you anxiety instead of inspiration? What routines have you built that look productive but are actually pointless? Distractions are not always loud. Sometimes they are hidden behind tasks that feel important but are just keeping you from doing the real work. Cleaning your desk 10 times, checking your email every hour, constantly rethinking your plans instead of acting on them. There is a cost to every distraction. Every time you choose to give your attention to something that does not serve your growth, you are saying no to something that does. That is the hard truth. And the longer you avoid it, the further you drift from the life you actually want. Because the path to success is not always blocked by failure. Most of the time it is blocked by meaningless choices that feel good in the moment, but lead nowhere. You must build focus like a muscle. Train yourself to stay present. Create an environment that supports your goals, not steals from them. Put your phone away when you are working. Set time limits for things that are not helping you. Say no more often, not because you are rude, but because you are rooted. Rooted in your vision, rooted in your value, rooted in the kind of future you want to create. And once you become serious about eliminating distractions, you will notice something powerful. You will begin to hear your own thoughts again. You will find space to think clearly, plan boldly, and act decisively. You will no longer be running in circles. You will be walking forward, slowly but surely, toward the life that was meant for you. Emotions come and go. Discipline keeps you on track. You cannot build a future based on how you feel. One day you are excited, the next you are tired. One moment you are full of fire, the next you are lost in doubt. That is how emotions work. They are loud, unpredictable, and temporary. If you rely on them to guide your actions, you will live in circles. You will start 100 things and finish none. You will be motivated in the morning and disappointed by night. The only way to escape that cycle is to build discipline. Discipline is not about being harsh. It is about being loyal to your vision, even when your feelings do not match your goals. There is a part of your brain that will always find excuses. It is good at making small problems feel big. It will tell you that you deserve a break when you have not earned one. It will remind you of how tired you are, how hard it is, how far you have to go. And if you listen to that voice too often, you will never move. You will keep waiting for a perfect moment that does not exist. Discipline is the voice that answers back, says, I do not feel like it, but I will do it anyway. It is not glamorous. It is not dramatic, but it is powerful. The world celebrates talent, but talent without discipline fades quickly. The real winners in life are not the ones who feel amazing every day. They are the ones who show up on the days they feel average. They write the page when the words are stuck. They practice when the spark is gone. They train when their body aches. Not because they are machines, but because they have decided that feelings are not the driver, purpose is. They know the emotion will pass, but the results will stay. Discipline also builds trust with yourself. Every time you do what you said you would do, even when it is hard, you remind yourself that you are dependable. That self-trust becomes confidence, and that confidence fuels more discipline. It becomes a loop, but the opposite is also true. Every time you break your own promises, your mind learns that your words are not serious. That is how self-doubt begins. Not from failure, but from inconsistency. From telling yourself you will start and never starting. From setting goals and watching them fade. Discipline protects you from that. It is also your defense against chaos. Life will throw a lot at you. Stress, loss, uncertainty. And in those moments, emotions will scream louder than ever. But if you have built discipline, you will have something solid to hold on to. A routine, a system, a commitment. You will not have to think or decide. You will just do. That is the strength that keeps you grounded when everything else feels unstable. You cannot control life, but you can control how you show up in it. And here is what most people miss. Discipline is freedom. It may feel like restriction at first, but it creates space. When you are disciplined with your time, you have more time. When you are disciplined with your habits, you have more clarity. When you are disciplined with your focus, you waste less energy. It is the structure that makes creativity possible. It is the routine that allows breakthroughs to happen. Without it, life is just noise. You do not need to become a robot. You are allowed to feel, but do not let every feeling become a decision. Learn to sit with your emotions without being ruled by them. Let them pass like waves. And when they do, your discipline will still be there, waiting, steady, ready to carry you forward. Because in the end, it is not the person who feels the most who wins. It is the person who moves forward anyway. Real winners are not the loudest. They are the most focused. In a world that rewards noise, where people are praised for how visible they are, how flashy their moves look, how loud their opinions echo, it is easy to forget that the real game is happening in silence. It is being played behind closed doors, in quiet rooms, at early hours, and in long stretches of solitude. The ones who rise the highest are not shouting about their progress every step of the way. They are building quietly, patiently, unshaken by applause or absence of it. because they are not performing, they are creating. Being loud does not mean you are doing something meaningful. Sometimes the people who talk the most are the ones doing the least. They confuse movement with progress, attention with achievement. But attention fades fast. Trends change. Crowds move on. What remains is substance. And substance is born from deep focus, not noise. The real winners do not waste energy trying to prove themselves every second. They let their results speak. They are too busy doing the work to stop and announce it every 5 minutes. Focus is what separates temporary success from lasting impact. The loud ones may gain quick fame, but the focused ones build legacy. They choose depth over drama. They do not care about being first. They care about being excellent. While others are obsessed with how they look, they are obsessed with how they grow. They spend more time refining than performing, more time listening than shouting, more time solving than complaining. That is not because they are weak, it is because they are strong enough to let go of ego. There is a quiet power in staying low and working hard, in letting your focus be so intense that distractions do not even tempt you, in walking past gossip, comparison, and competition without slowing down. The focused ones do not need constant validation. They validate themselves through commitment, consistency, and execution. They are not driven by claps. They are driven by clarity, and that clarity becomes their superpower. It helps them cut through the noise, avoid the detours, and stay aligned with their purpose. You will rarely see the focused ones complaining about time because they do not waste it. They do not get involved in every argument, every trend, every invitation. Not because they think they are better, but because they are busy becoming better. They have learned that every yes costs something. So they say no a lot. No to distractions, no to drama, no to things that do not serve their mission. That discipline is what makes them dangerous in the best way. They are steady while others are scattered. They are building while others are bragging. And the irony is, the louder world often overlooks them until they succeed. Then suddenly everyone notices. People say they came out of nowhere, but they did not. They came from focus, from years of doing the hard work when no one was watching, from staying committed in silence while others chased attention. And when the results finally appear, they are undeniable because they were not built on hype. They were built on discipline, vision, and long hours of quiet persistence. Focus is not about being perfect. It is about being intentional, about knowing what matters and giving it your full self. It is about keeping your eyes on your own lane, even when others are shouting from theirs. The real winners do not need to prove themselves to everyone. They just need to prove themselves to themselves. They understand that their energy is sacred, their time is valuable, and their goals deserve more than scattered attention. They are not in a race to be seen. They are in a mission to become. And that mission is too important to be distracted by noise. Saying no is as powerful as saying yes. It sounds simple, but for most people it is the hardest thing to do. We are taught to be polite, agreeable, cooperative. We are trained to say yes, even when our minds are screaming no. And in the process, we end up carrying the weight of other people's plans, expectations, and chaos. The truth is, every yes is a commitment. Every yes takes a piece of your energy, your time, your focus. And when you say yes too often to the wrong things, you run out of space for the right ones. People who stay focused are not cold or selfish. They are clear. They understand that time is limited and energy is not infinite. They know that every minute spent on something that does not align with their goals is a minute lost forever. And so they protect their yes. They treat it like gold. They understand that to say yes to their dreams, they have to say no to distractions. To say yes to deep work, they have to say no to small talk. To say yes to growth, they have to say no to comfort. Saying no is not rejection. It is redirection. It is choosing where your life goes, instead of letting everyone else choose for you. And yet, so many people hesitate. They worry about hurting feelings, disappointing others, being misunderstood. So they say yes and then they resent it. They say yes and then they burn out. They say yes and then they wake up months later, wondering why they feel stuck, exhausted and unfulfilled. It takes courage to say no. It takes clarity. You need to be brutally honest with yourself about what truly matters, what is essential, what is noise, what adds value, and what just fills time. When you start asking those questions, your no becomes stronger. It becomes a shield, not a sword. It is not about pushing people away. It is about protecting your path. Because not everyone deserves your time. Not every opportunity deserves your attention. Not every request deserves your involvement. Some of the most successful, peaceful, and purpose-driven people are not the ones who do the most. They are the ones who do the right things and ignore the rest. They do not chase every opportunity. They do not attend every meeting. They do not respond to every message instantly. They understand that doing less with more focus creates better results than doing more with scattered energy. And this is where the shift happens. When you start saying no with intention, you create space for rest, space for deep thinking, space for creation, space for the things that actually move your life forward. You become less reactive and more proactive. You stop living on everyone else's timeline and start owning your own. You also start to teach people how to treat you. When you say yes to everything, you signal that your time is free, your boundaries are soft, and your priorities can be pushed around. But when you say no firmly and kindly, people learn to respect your space. They may not like it at first. Some may push back. Some may leave. But that is part of the process. Growth always comes with pruning. And in the moments when you feel guilty for saying no, remind yourself what you are saying yes to instead. Yes to peace. Yes to purpose. Yes to focus. Yes to the life you are building. Because every no that protects your values is a yes to your future. It is a quiet rebellion against the noise and a loud commitment to what matters most. Small, consistent actions beat big, occasional efforts. The truth is, we are all drawn to dramatic gestures. We want to believe that one massive push, one all-nighter, one burst of inspiration will change everything. But life does not work like that. Real change is not explosive. It is steady. It is built slowly, day after day, in the quiet moments when no one is watching. The gym session you do when you are tired, the page you write when you have no ideas, the early morning study session, the extra hour of work after everyone else has stopped, that is where success is born. The problem is not that people are lazy, it is that they are inconsistent. They start with energy but lack endurance. They chase motivation but avoid discipline. And when the excitement fades, so does their effort. They wait for the perfect day, the perfect plan, the perfect mindset, but those perfect conditions rarely show up. What shows